Now, 5 Florida is the talk of the country today as the hand recount gets underway in all 67 counties.
But do you really know what's happening inside the elections departments? It may be time to go back to the basics. I mean, all the way back to the basics in order to understand. For that, here's CBS 4's Jim DeFeeti.
Did you know that you can count things in many different ways?
No, Mr. Count!
Oh, good. Then I will teach you.
For many of us, it was Sesame Street that taught us the fundamentals of counting.
Are you ready?
Yes, Mr. Count!
Okay, here goes.
The Count was always good at counting bats.
Two bats.
But Florida ballots are a whole different story. So let's take a look. Here you see in the first 2 races where the person correctly filled in the bubble. But in the 3rd race, they circled the name. Should the circled name count? Under state rules, since the voter consistently, and that's the key word, consistently filled the ballot out correctly in the other races, the fact that they didn't fill it out properly in the 3rd means this vote will not count. Let's look at some others. But now let's assume the voter has not been consistent. These are examples of ballots where the intent of the voter is clear. A small dot inside the bubble. A mark where it's clear the person didn't mean to circle a particular name. A line underneath the bubble, or under the name, or if the bubble was circled. All of these are valid votes that would be counted. Now this one gets tricky. Look at these 2. In one, there is a clear check mark inside the bubble. But then you have one where it's not clear if it's a check mark, and it runs through 2 bubbles, so that vote would not count. And the same here. A clear line drawn through 1 bubble is a valid vote. A line carelessly drawn through 2 bubbles, not a vote. It would be enough to drive even the count crazy.
I could count forever, count until I drop.
Love it.
Okay, so after seeing that, I have a lot of questions.
Yes.
But also, I wanted to ask you, are you surprised at the speed of the recount in Broward and Palm Beach counties?
So I think what this shows is there was no real contested ballots. That the undervotes, the votes that the machine said nobody voted for either Scott or Nelson, truly were just that. Votes in which nobody voted for either candidate. So if there's nothing there was nothing to argue about that was going to extend it. So they just flew right through them. So now we're going to go back to the question of ballot design. Was the ballot in Broward designed improperly? And late to this afternoon, I talked to the Broward Democratic Party chair because one of the defenses that Brenda Snipes has said is that party officials had a chance to review the ballot. Well, I asked the Broward chair of the Democratic Party. She says she was never given an opportunity to review the ballot.
Oh, that's something we hadn't heard before.
I just got off the phone with her, so yeah, all new.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot.